Namaskar students. Today we are going to study part 1 of chapter 3 from the book Hornbill. The name of the chapter is Discovering Tut. The saga continues and it is written by A.R. Williams. So before starting the chapter, let me tell you something about its author. A.R. Williams is a former senior writer for National Geographic magazine and online news. It was here that she discovered the various wonders of the world for almost 3 decades. Her specialization in the field of archaeology, about which she writes, features about places varying from Egypt to as far as Alaska. She also writes about new discoveries that take place. The chapter Discovering Tut, the saga continues is an article written by her regarding the famous and powerful king Tutankhamun and popularly known as Tut. So let's start the chapter. Discovering Tut, the saga continues, provides a deep insight into man's keen desire to know and analyze the roots of our civilization. The story deals with the mysteries and various theories regarding the death of the youngest ruler of ancient Egypt, Tutankhamun. His tomb was discovered in 1922 by the famous archaeologist Howard Carter. The discovery inspired many archaeological researchers to speculate about what happened to him, as he died an early and untimely death. Since then, his mummy subjected to a X-ray and later a CT scan. These investigations have answered a lot of questions and offered new clues on his life and death. Let's have a glimpse on the important characters in the chapter. King Tut, the last heir of the powerful family that had ruled Egypt and its empire for centuries. His preserved body was first to be scanned. Howard Carter, the British archaeologist who discovered King Tut's tomb, his search caused great damage to the king's preserved body. Zahi Hawass, the Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, he scanned King Tut's mummy for an accurate forensic reconstruction. Amenhotep III, King Tut's father or grandfather, a powerful ruler who ruled for almost 4 decades. Amenhotep IV, he promoted the worship of Aten and changed his name to Akhenaten. He outraged the country by attacking Amun, a major god, by smashing his images and closing his temples. So let's start the chapter. Death of King Tut. King Tut was just a teenager when he died. He was the last heir of the powerful family that had ruled Egypt and its empire for centuries. He was buried and forgotten over the years. But after the discovery of his tomb in 1922, the modern world wondered about the cause of his untimely death. He was brought out of his tomb and a CT scan was done to ascertain the reason for his death. The Mummy of King Tut. At 6 pm on 5th January 2005, the world's most famous mummy was taken out from its burial tomb. As the mummy of King Tut was being put out into the scanner for performing a CT scan, angry winds and dark clouds covered the stars. The weather had been overcast all day and the night sky was hidden by dark-bellied clouds. The CT scan was being done to unearth the remaining medical mysteries that surrounded the untimely death of this young king who died more than 3,300 years ago. King Tut's tomb lies 26 feet underground in the ancient Egyptian cemetery known as the Valley of the Kings. Tourists from around the world came to visit the tomb to pay their respects. They gazed at the murals on the walls of the burial chamber and looked at the King Tut's glided face on the lid of his outer coffin. The visitors were curious and thoughtful. Some feared the king's curse would befall those who disturbed him. Howard Carter and his findings. Howard Carter was a British archaeologist who in 1922 discovered King Tut's tomb after years of futile searching. Its contents remain the richest royal collection ever found. King Tut was also buried with everyday things such as board games, a bronze razor, cases of food, clothes, wine, etc., that he would need in the life after death. Howard Carter found King Tut's body in three nested coffins. In the first coffin, he found a shroud decorated with the garlands of willow and olive leaves, lotus petals, and cornflowers, which indicated that the burial took place in March or April. When he finally reached the mummy, he was in trouble. And what was the trouble? The ritual raisins had hardened, cementing King Tut to be the bottom of the solid gold coffin. Howard Carter tried to loosen the raisins by putting the mummy outside in the sun that heated it to 149 degrees Fahrenheit. For several hours, the mummy was set outside in blazing sunshine, but nothing happened. He reported that the tough material had to be cut from under the limbs and trunk to free the king's remains. The royals in the King Tut's time believed that they could take their fortune with them after death. Hence, King Tut was buried with all the expensive belongings. To separate King Tut from his ornaments, Howard Carter's men removed the mummy's head and cut off nearly every major joint. Then they reassembled the remains of the body on a layer of sand in a wooden box with paddling. Views of Zahi Hawass. Zahi Hawass was the Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities. He explained that mummy was in a very bad condition. And what was the reason for it? It was in a very bad condition because of what Howard Carter did to it. So children, this was part 1 of chapter 3, Discovering Tut. The saga continues. I hope you all have understood this. We will continue the remaining portion of the chapter in part 2. Thank you and have a good day.